I'd like to call the November 17th, 2011 meeting of the Fayette Municipal Planning Commission to order. Going to start out with citizens forum. Does anyone in the audience have anything to say? Gene?
Pleasure to have you speak.
I would like to speak, Ms. Chairman, if you don't mind. Ron Rochelle, 707 Prince George Parish. I'm here as a citizen, and in a moment I'll be back on the board. Noticed in the paper where the special event permit sign changed to coroplast, which that was disturbing to me. The board of Mayor and Alderman, they realized this on the email I sent, but I'd like to discuss it a minute, see if it can stop it. I'm going to get a little nervous and start quivering a little bit, so hold on with me. This is what we've ended up selecting for the special permit sign. It's high core, 10 millimeter corrugated plastic. That's what we've ended up with. So let's imagine if we use that particular product to make a 4-foot by 5-foot sign. Number one, who's going to carry it around? It's very cumbersome for an individual to carry that around, and one person to install it and such. Also, when the wind hits that product, it's going to either bend it or do something with it. And if you look at it, how can you attach that to a string, a rope, or anything? Wind is going to pull it, and it's going to tear it. Eventually, it will tear it. Now, I'm sure we may not believe that, but here is a smaller version, not thick a gauge, and you can see that that will bend. Now imagine it's in a 4x5, and that wind will just keep bending it, and it will start retaining that shape. And eventually, we'll have a bowed board or a bowed sign. All the signs that we've ever had for the special permit before that I have seen in this town has been made out of this right here. Those have been flopping on their sides, have been bending on their side, and have been really, to be honest, the reason we changed this ordinance have been a disgrace to the sign ordinances of Farragut. So this is why I'm standing before you, because I think it's a mistake. I'm only one voice. I'll be maybe outvoted or ignored, which that's fine. But I would like to bring it to everybody's attention that that corrugated plastic is going to bend or break even at that thickness, because number one, the difficulty with that thickness is how are you going to attach it. Now, this is what we approved right here. It's banner material. It truly is. But for the benefit, just think of the business side of this for the business owner. Number one, you can print on both sides of this product. He can roll it. He can go out there. He can install this sign himself. He can, after it's printed on both sides, he can roll it up. He can put it in the back closet, and he can bring it out for every special event he has, just like that. It's nice and it's taut. If you put the jump cords on it each side, it'll keep it taut. And if wind becomes a factor, you can just take a knife and just kind of scoop out a little half circle and reduce the wind to it. And it'll hold up forever. It's banner material. Yes, it is. But there's the grommet in it. Attach that jump cord to that post. Keep it nice and taut. If it doesn't stay taut, you go out there and just do it again. That's all he's got to do, and he can do it by himself, or she can do it by herself. So I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. Mayor and Ron, I'd appreciate your attention to it, and if you decide to go with this, that's more than fine. But I think you will have difficulty attaching to a post. I think the wind, you've got a 4x5, basically this door in the door, the wind's going to hit it, and it's going to start doing that right there. And you've seen it up and down the streets. That's why we came here, to change the permit, because we were having problems with the very product that we've approved. So in my view, we have not changed the ordinance. We've left it. We didn't make an improvement. Now, the goal for myself in this town is to make Farragut better than it can be. That's the only reason that I'm standing here, and the only reason I'm on the board is I want to make Farragut better than it can be. Thanks for your time.
Anybody else have any comments? Mr. Okay.
I'd like to bring up an issue that's come to my attention. It involves modular storage and inventory storage structures at the Village Green Shopping Center at the moment, because they were cited. Two of them, both the Fresh Market and the bike shop were cited on that. These, well, they were cited for the ordinance of general compliance, and basically these are inventory, storage, and assembly modules. Steel buildings that aren't going anyplace in the service areas, which is bermed and lined, etc. And in my opinion, well, it's not clear to me anyway that it is a violation to the exception in the regulation that it's currently in the violation.
We all look at Ruth to fix it. Fix it, Ruth.
No, to the exception in paragraph B of the ordinance. But also, I don't think there's any reasonable reason to prohibit these kinds of structures if, in fact, somebody deems it prohibited. And if that's the case, what I'd like to propose is that we look at this and place it on an agenda next month to look at modification of the ordinance if it needs it.
These are like shipping containers sitting behind you, is that what?
Ed doesn't really have the full story on this one, so I would defer that it not be placed on the agenda right away, because there are other issues dealing with this. But yes, he is talking about the shipping containers.
But we're not talking about the bicycle lock boxes at Village Green, the storage boxes.
Storage boxes,
No.
No, but it's a separate thing. Okay.
what are separate things? Pardon me?
We're not talking about that. We're talking about shipping containers. The unfancy pods.
Modular structure, darn things are used every place for accessory buildings around the world.
Ed, would it make sense for maybe you and the staff to meet, and then if you felt like that it's still something we should put on the agenda, then we can tackle it? So I think I'm really confused.
That's an excellent recommendation.
If that's all right with you, because I would like for you to have all the facts, and then if we want to pursue it, then maybe the whole planning commission get presented with all the facts. Because obviously, I'm sure there are pros and cons.
Temporary pods, are they for the Christmas season? Or?
No. What they're being used for by both the Fresh Market and the bike shop is that they're basically insufficient room in their current inside their buildings to take care of the inventory and properties that's coming in today. The option, of course, to deny it is go someplace else.
Off-site storage or something like that.
Well,
I think it may be a valid topic for us to tackle. Obviously I think there's a lot of meat on this bone, and we probably can't gnaw on it tonight. But it appears to me that Ruth has a lot of background information that might be helpful to present in a more formal setting at some point.
I just want to get the issue out.
Okay.
It's been out for some time and it hasn't gotten up.
Well, it's the first I've heard of it, but right.
After the meeting, you can get with Ruth and set up a time to get with her and get information exchanged from both of you all then. Okay, Mr. Mayor has something he wants to,
Well, first of all, I want to ask Ruth, with regard to Ron's issue with the material for the signs, do you have any comments on that?
Actually, staff is more in supportive of this material. We had serious concerns about the banners, but that was what was requested. We did not, at the staff level, feel it was appropriate for us to express being against it, because we felt that was really a decision for the Planning Commission and the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. The town has always had a long-standing no banner policy, and then suddenly we were jumping to the position of being, you have to have a banner. We have allowed folks to print out banners and then affix them to hard surfaces, and even that has been problematic with getting them to affix it so that they're not sagging and bowing and everything else. We've also had, like we were talking to a sign company representative, and she's actually the one who kind of went to the FBA and said, is this really what you want? And that's when David was like, ooh, no, not really. But whenever you have a 4x5 banner, for example, same with the plastic, corrugated plastic, you actually would have to print up 2 banners. You'd have to make 2 signs, because in order for the banner to not flap, you actually would have to put the studded T-posts at several different locations, because otherwise it will bow. You can't tie it tight enough. And so that was the concern that we had at the staff, our experience with what we've had already, and then also that was the sign company reps. Sign company rep apparently called FBA representatives and then contacted us about it, and they expressed their concerns.
If I may answer those comments, you don't mind, do you, Ruth?
No.
Okay. Well, number one, Ruth and Mark Shipley are a wonderful employee for the city and the town. This has absolutely nothing to do with any relationship in that regard. Regarding the banner and the fact that it might sag and such, within that material, you can, and we dictated that a hem would be put in. You can put a metal rod, a dowel rod through the top of it to keep it from sagging, and just suspend it from post to post. I've done that many times. 4x5 is quite a 5 feet in essence, is a long area. The stock size on that banner material is 4 feet tall, is custom. And the one you have in your hand, or did I pass through, that was 13 ounce. The one we dictated for the town and the ordinance was 10 ounce. So it will be a little bit thinner than what you see there. Now, as far as the sign representative, well, I'm in the sign business. The South College sign, you see at Parkside, you drive up and down the interstate and see South College light up every night. I did that sign. The Dreamcatcher sign that you see in front of Kroger, I did that sign. So I pride myself on what I do. Let's see, the Crouch Floor sign on Kingston Pike down the Bearden area, I did that sign. I'm proud of those signs. So I've had some experience. I can't say that I've had 100 years in this business, but I do know my product, and I just feel like it's going to be very difficult. Number one, to get a grommet in what we've seen that the ordinance is going to be. And Mark, I've dealt with Mark many times, and he's a wonderful guy. So hopefully they won't be a vendetta on me now.
You know way better than that, Ron.
But I think that everybody's entitled to their opinion, and of course this is only mine. So, and you can make your own decisions. Thank you.
But what did we recommend when we workshopped this? What did we send up to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen? What product?
10 ounce scrim vinyl.
Which is similar to the vinyl with the grommets.
Yes.
What I remember workshopping was one of the things, not necessarily looking at plastic, corrugated, or vinyl, but one of the things that I see in the past has been history has been the storage of the big signs. And the reason being is I have tenants that puts these signs in locations where I would prefer them not to be located. But nevertheless, and it seems like that was something we spent a lot of time talking about, was storage.